Hey guys, welcome back.
We've been getting some really cool press recently. Last week we were just on local CW62 with Jamarcus, and next week we're going to be on Board Games podcast with Stephanie Straw and Isaac Shalev.
Our Kickstarter is still going on, so if you haven't backed us yet, please do. We would love to have your support.
We'd love to be able to get that game finished and sent out to you, and that would be really cool.
Today we're going to review another game, Shadowrun Crossfire, in our Terrible 2
Minute Review. Shadowrun Crossfire is a co-op deck building game for 2 to 4 players, and it's set in this really cool cyberpunk magic universe.
Players act as a team of Shadowrunners and try to defeat whatever the obstacle deck throws at them.
On their turn, players select a race for their character. Each of the 5 races have different stats, which are marked with different tokens. They then choose a role as either a mage, face, street samurai, or decker. They collect their starting cards and money, and the game begins.
There are 3 different mission types. Today we're going to talk about the Crossfire Mission. Each mission consists of 3 scenes. In every scene, a number of obstacles will be drawn based on the number of players that are present. And then the players then try to work together, playing their cards to defeat those obstacles.
On their turn, players use their cards to try to match them to the symbols that are required to overcome an obstacle. If players aren't able to defeat the obstacle on their turn, then they suffer damage and then any consequences listed on the card. Players have to defeat all the obstacles in front of everyone before they can move to the next scene.
In addition, at the beginning of each round, a new Crossfire event card is drawn, and these Crossfire event cards add a new twist to each round, making the game increasingly more difficult for the players.
As players defeat obstacles and earn new yen, which they can then spend on items in the black market, they're basically trying to just upgrade their characters and keep them alive as they try to survive through brutal wave after brutal wave that this game throws at you. If all the players can survive 3 scenes, they win the game.
If a player takes too much damage, he becomes staggered, and he has to put all of his cards, discard, draw deck, and hand, shuffle them all together, and then he only gets to draw 1 card each turn, so he just hopes to survive.
And that makes it really hard. If a player goes from being staggered to critical, then the mission has failed, and the game is... well, it doesn't end, because what happens is, if one player can survive through the remaining obstacles to the end, then it's considered a successful abort, and you at least get 1 experience/karma point to share with the team.
Because you're losing with style.
Right.
This basically just scratches the surface of the game, because there's 2 other missions that come in the base box, and then you'd be trying out new roles and new races and upgrading your characters with the permanent upgrade stickers, and that adds a new complexity to it, which we're not really going to get into right now.
All right, so I think that pretty much covers the basics. Let's go ahead and jump into it and give us your rating on the mechanic.
Shadowrun Crossfire adds some nice things to the deck building genre. It's also one of the few co-op games out there, which I like a lot. The different Crossfire event cards keep things from becoming too simple and straightforward, and having the roles and races adds a nice layer to everything. It is a little bit heavier of a game though, but if you enjoy deck building games and are up for a challenge, I'd definitely check it out. Theme.
I dig the theme for this. The artwork is fantastic. I love this universe that they've put it in. I like the iconography on the cards and how it matches to the obstacles. I think that helps it be a lot more easy to understand and jump into. The characters for this are just fantastic. Like, they're fleshed out and they're unique, and I like that a lot. I think the story, like flavor text, is really great. It's beautiful. It's the whole package. Tell us about the replayability.
One of the things that makes this game very replayable is the fact that you're playing with multiple decks, and each of them is randomized. You have a random obstacle deck, random crossfire deck, random black market deck, and they're always going to be different each game, so every game is different. Also, another thing that really increases the replayability, especially for me, is that every game is building on the last one with these upgrade stickers that you're working towards. And so my wife and I really enjoy this game. We've been playing it recently about every 3 days or so. How much do you enjoy this game?
Almost that much. It is a super fun game to play. The only downside, or I don't know what it is, but this game is really hard. Like, I don't know that I've ever beaten it. Every single time we play, I get lucky if we successfully abort. But that challenge does make it enjoyable, and the game is fun to play. The co-op part is very nice, and knowing that someday I might win is a good thing that draws me back into it.
Don't worry, someday your elf mage will be as good as my dwarf decker, and you'll win like me.
Fingers crossed. Taser Rouse gives Shadowrun Crossfire 2 of Ryan's thumbs ups.
Crossfire! I remember the commercials. That's all I remember.
Was it like a bunch of kids like playing outdoors
With their plastic,
with their plastic toys?
it was marbles. It was like
with a
metal
plastic
marbles.
bowl though. Right?
Crossfire! But as a 7-year-old, having an adult yell, Crossfire! Was really cool. And it made me want the game. So, yeah. I think my neighbor had it. You don't have quality games like that today. I have like
You don't.
Beyblades. I don't know what that means.
Now you have to play it into your Wii indoors. Okay. You can't play Wii outdoors, I don't think. Maybe that. Do they have commercials?
My brother used to Wii outdoors.
I love it.